Hey, hi. Today we are going to discussing about the controlled component and uncontrolled component and what is the difference between them. So let's get started. The first point, in React, controlled and uncontrolled component refers to how form data is handled. Means there's a form which where we fill the data or take a input in screen, and how we can handle these things. These topics are related with them. So let's get start with the next. Controlled components. The definition: a controlled component is a form element like input, text area, and whose values is controlled by React and data flow. The values of the component is bound to a state in React. When the user input the data, React states is updated and the component re-render with the new values. Means whenever you changes with the in a text area, you just written A, then screen re-rendered at a time and shows A. If you changes with the B, then at a time simultaneously re-render the things and update on a screen. So these things happen in the controlled components. Event handlings: any changes to the input is managed by a event handler on change, allowing to complete control over the component data. JSX is the whole points and whole the code we using in the React in JSX form. Functional function, it's a keyword which we use to denote the any function name. Its control component is a function name, and then bracket start the const. Here the value which we get, and here's the value which we set. And the use state is use state is used to update the value for re-render. Okay, and then we return the input text, the value what changes in the value which we have to return, and the set value what the value should be changed on the screen. This shows the this code is used on that place. And the advantages: the controlled component allow for validations. It's very good, because if we just things empty, then we just with before submitting we got a warning that the value is empty, we have to write a value so that we can go ahead things. It's and it's also the formatting or other logics to be applied to the user types, and they also make it easier to debug the form controls. Uncontrolled component. The definitions: uncontrolled component manage its own state. It's eternal. Instead of relying on the React state, it uses the DOM to manage its current values. So it becomes make things more simple and more easy to manage. And data flow: the component values is accessed through a reference instead of a state value. Variables means we using reference in the place of state variables, so that the things not rendered on the screen, but it becomes simple and easy. Event handling: since React doesn't control the inputs value, there's a limited control over the data changes. This approach is often used in a simple form. We just making a simple form to fill the data. So we using these things so that it's become more resource less resource taking, and it's easy to manage and easy to write. And the JSX, the function and the uncontrolled component, it's a name of the function and the code which we are using in uncontrolled components. Const input use reference as a reference, and the value is null. Then the const handles submit and the console log which we print on the console so that we can debug the code. And then return type which we use the input to return the value, and handle the submit. When we submit the things, then we things changes on the screen, and then React take charge. Advantage: uncontrolled components can be simpler and faster to set up when the complex state management or frequent updates aren't needed. They are especially useful in forms where the data is only required on submissions. The conclusion is that the controlled component gives the conclusion of that the control component gives a React complete control over the form data and allow for immediate data handling and validations. and the uncontrolled component rely on the DOM, are quicker to set up and best suited for simpler forms. So that in layman terms, I tell you that the uncontrolled component is that whenever you go to the restaurant and you get a form where the procedures written, and the feedback form where you have to write the feedback how the things going on in the restaurant. So whenever you are writing in a form, so no one is come and check that is you written the this point, is you written that point, is you written that this point. And whenever you go and submit the form, then the restaurant person check the whole forms and what you have written in the comment. This is the uncontrolled component. And the control component is that whenever you going to a restaurant and someone coming and telling that you have to do this thing, you have to do that thing, you have to do this much. This is the control component in layman terms. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Thank you so much.